everybody, my name is Tanya and this is the Mid-Year Freak Out book tag. This tag was created by Ellie from Ellie Jane and Charmy from Read Like Wildfire, and I was tagged by Jane from Yes Miss Jane. I am ridiculously behind on tag videos, or just videos in general. I haven't been filming much at all lately and I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess I've been doing this for a year and it's finally catching up. But anyway, I do have a big list of tag videos that I am woefully behind in, and I do still have them all recorded. I am gonna get to them, but I thought this one better jump the queue because it's talking about mid-year, and if I keep going the way I'm going, I won't film it until December. So, mid-year freak out book tag. So there are a number of questions about the books you've read so far this year, and let's just get into it. The first question is the best book you've read so far in 2015. This is going to be a popular choice, but I just couldn't help it. My favourite book so far this year, I think, has been The Martian by Andy Weir. I just love this so much. I know a lot of people have. Everything about this just so good, and I listened to the audio version narrated by R.C. Bray, and that was phenomenal. And just, I know this has been everywhere on BookTube, but it's been everywhere for a reason. I just freaking loved it. Question number 2 is the best sequel you've read so far in 2015. And for the ones that I've read, I'm tossing up between Saga Volume 4, because this graphic novel series is just so good. But the other thing I have is the second and third books in the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. This series was just epic and, you know, kept getting more and more epic and just... Have I said epic yet? Question number 3 is new release you haven't yet read but want to. And I've got 2 things for this which happen to come out on the same day, which probably means you can guess what they are. The first one is Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. I know there's been a lot of controversy with how this has been published, but I still really want to read this one and see what it's like for myself. I just haven't got there yet. I was hoping that I would read To Kill a Mockingbird and this one as soon as this came out. I'm filming this the last day of July. But that's alright, I do still want to read this and I'm hoping to get to it soon. And so of course the other book that also came out on the same day as Go Set a Watchman is Armada by Ernest Cline. This one I have on audiobook because I listened to Ready Player One on the audio version narrated by Will Wheaton, which was phenomenal. And Armada again, it has been narrated by Will Wheaton, so I snaffled that up. I have been hearing mixed things about this one from a lot of people, but again I'm intrigued to see what I think about it, and I'm thinking maybe I might pick this up next on audio. We'll see what happens. Question number 4 is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and again I've got 2 for this. The first one is coming out in August and I'm really excited, and it is The Fox and the Star by Coralie Bickford Smith. And yes, this is the famous Coralie Bickford Smith of my penguin design obsession, and she's releasing her own book, and the pictures I've seen of it, of the inside, are just amazing. I'll put up a picture of the cover here. It's just so beautiful and I can't wait to get my hands on it because... And then the second book that I'm also highly anticipating, I think comes out in November, and that is Tower of Thorns, which is the second book in the Blackthorn and Grimm series by Juliet Marillier. And again, picture up here. For those of you who have been with my channel for a while, you may remember that I went over to Western Australia in October last year to attend the book launch of the first book in the Blackthorn and Grimm series, which is Dreamer's Pool, and now the second book is coming out this year, and I cannot wait to see where the storyline goes next. Question number 5 is your biggest disappointment, and unfortunately for me that was Half Resurrection Blues by Daniel Jose Older. If you've watched the 6th book quarter of the box wrap up that I've just put up, you know that I didn't care for this one so much, and that's unfortunate but a bit disappointing. Question number 6 is your biggest surprise, and for this one I picked another quarterly box item, although from a different box, and that was The Salinger Contract by Adam Langer. The reason I picked this one is I wasn't sure how I was going to go with it going in. From reading the blurb, I'd seen that this is one of the books where the author inserts himself into the text, so there's a character called Adam Langer in the book, and usually that really irritates me when authors do that. I don't see the point, but in this case it worked really well, and it did actually play a part in the story, which it wouldn't have been the same if he hadn't have done it that way, so I was pleasantly surprised with this one. Question number 7 is your favourite new author, either a debut author or new to you, and for that I've gone back to Brandon Sanderson. So I've read 4 Brandon Sanderson books this year. Finally, after hearing so many wonderful things on BookTube, I read the Mistborn trilogy and I also read Steelheart, and I can tell that this is only going to be the beginning. I'm definitely going to be reading many more Brandon Sanderson books in the future. Question number 8 is your newest fictional crush, and for this I've gone with both Joseph and Sammy from The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. I just loved both of them. I don't know whether I'd go to crush levels, I don't think it's a crush, but I love them both and really just wanted to give them a big hug, so Question number 9 is your newest favourite character, and I'm going back to something with this, and yes, it'll be another popular choice, but I can't help it because it's what I feel, and that is Mark Watney from The Martian. Like, seriously, this guy is amazing. He's just... Mark Watney. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry, and while I've spoken before about the fact that I don't tend to cry in books, one that definitely affected me quite emotionally was Bastard of Carolina by Dorothy Ellison. This one I read for my BookTube Recommends project. It was recommended to me by Mercedes from Mercedes Bookish Musings. Heartbreak and anger are definitely the two things that are warring most when it comes to the emotions that this book evoke. This book. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy, and for this I couldn't help but go with The Invasion by K.A. Applegate, which is the first book in the Animal series. I've just recently done a reread of this and it was just so wonderful. The whole experience just made me so happy. You know, maybe it's not the storyline of the book itself that's making me happy, but just the whole experience of rereading this and reliving those childhood memories was just so great, and I just had the biggest grin on my face the whole time reading this. I loved it. So definitely out of everything that I've read this year, this one's made me the most just simply happy to read it. Question number 12 is your favourite book to film adaptation that you saw this year. And I don't know whether I've seen any. I don't think I've been to the movies much this year at all. But I've been sitting here thinking about it, trying to think of the last one I saw, and I think it was probably Mockingjay Part 1, which I would have seen last year. I'm probably going to think of something immediately after I finish filming, but at the moment I can barely think of any movies that I've seen this year, let alone book to movie adaptations. Certainly the last movie that I saw was Mad Max Fury Road. Doesn't really count for this question, but it was pretty awesome. Question number 14 is the most beautiful book that you bought this year, and this is a recent acquisition. I got it just last week, so spoiler alert for the haul video that I'm apparently long overdue in filming because I've acquired a stack of books. Yep. But anyway, the most beautiful one that I've got, and I just could stare at it all day, is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This cover, guys, I know you've seen it everywhere on BookTube lately, but it is just so beautiful, and the gold gilt there, and it's just hands down the most beautiful book that I have acquired. Although there are some other really nice things in the book haul that I do need to film, maybe after this one. And question number 15 is what books do you need to have read by the end of the year? And honestly, there are so many that I can say, but I have been meaning to go back and revisit the reading goal videos that I made at the start of the year to kind of make sure that I haven't forgotten anything and see how I'm travelling and maybe make a video about that. So in my mind, the things that I need to finish by the end of the year are things that fit for some of those reading goals. So there are two in particular that I definitely need to stick to. So the first one is to have read my 12 Agatha Christie's for the year. So far I'm on track, although it is the 31st of July and I've not read my July book, so yep. But so far I'm on track, and definitely have to have finished those 12 books by the end of the year. The other one that I have is my BookTube Recommends project, where I got 12 different booktubers to recommend a book to me, and again, so far I'm on track, but again, it's the 31st of July and I've not read my July book for the BookTube Recommends project. But I want to have read all 12 of those books before the end of the year too. So that was the mid-year Freakout book tag, and it was fun looking back on what I have read so far this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else I'm able to read for the rest of the year. So I haven't actually thought about who I'm going to tag in this, and I don't know whether I'm going to get around to, so basically I tag you if you want to do it, and if you do this tag, let me know down in the comments so I can check out your video. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!